whose individual members are equipped for their role of service within the church and community, including the release and training of those called to translocal ministry.
How about in terms of the use of spiritual gifts? Often we recognise that God will give them. They're grace gifts. They don't depend on maturity. They just come to someone who may be brand new in the faith. Suddenly they'll get a gift and they're able to contribute with it. And so sometimes perhaps because they're grace gifts, we can have a bit of take a step back and be passive about what happens next. But is there a place for cultivating those gifts? Should people speak into that and help equip people and develop them in their gifting?
I think it's a hugely important question. I think we're probably rather weak on it, to be perfectly honest. I think we preach about the baptism of the Spirit, the gifts of the Spirit, and as you say, we tend to look for a sovereign breakthrough. Oh, he begins to prophesy, or pray for the sick, or something. And I think maybe we're not sufficiently hands-on. I always remember John Wimber, if you talk about equipping the saints, he called his magazine Equip. And I think that it's important to see he gave quite a full program how to pray for the sick. Cultivated several points, engage with the person, what's their problem, and how to pray, and so on. And we've tended to celebrate that when John Wimber came, but not necessarily developed training programs. And similar with prophesying. We say we believe in the prophetic, we want the prophetic. But I think perhaps we should be much more proactive in gathering people who want to be trained, can be given some good guidelines, because although there's a sense in which, yes, it's the Spirit's gift, yet, we train in all sorts of other things. Preaching is a spiritual gift, but we nevertheless teach and train and help people. We've almost regarded the gifts a little bit different, like, well, that comes sovereignly, so don't touch. But I think we probably need to do more in that. And also, because part of our training program, again, being a family of churches, we can provide quite a bit of training across the churches by gathering together various groups. So we have evangelists together and doing front edge, leading them into evangelism as a corporate thing. It's one of the blessings of being a family of churches. And similarly, our training programs for upcoming young pastors and preachers and people who want to pursue things. It's not just the local church that has to provide everything. By working together, we can draw in, really gifted, excellent teachers and preachers to equip the saints across the churches. I think that's hugely valuable. And into works among the poor. I've recently been in Africa again. You see teams that come out on life change teams and so on. And people say, we came on a life change team, we never went home, or we came back again as soon as we could, because, we just came, exposed ourselves to the need, took on some training, we just want to go for it. And so I think there are all kinds of things we can do together that we couldn't do alone. It's one of the things God said to us in the beginning. And we don't always apply it to the training area in our thinking, but actually in practice we're doing quite a bit of training that goes broader than the individual church, and I think that's important.
I suppose even in the developing of flowers, you think about roses and stuff like that, how there's pruning is necessary to bring the best out of what's there. And I suppose if we don't speak into people's giftedness, there is the danger it could kind of grow in an unruly or unhealthy way.
Yes, I think that one could think perhaps of prophesying. That people need sometimes to be encouraged that, you really started that well, but I think maybe you just kept going after God has been speaking, and that happens. And I think in a church where people are loved and that they know, hey, this guy's for me, he's not just telling me off, and people are mature enough to take correction, then we can really see good development. And sometimes, probably in the earlier Pentecostal days, if someone prophesied, you didn't say anything because that's God.
That says the Lord.
That's right. You don't approach that. And I think that led to a lot of problems. We need to see the biblical balance of others weighing it. Someone prophesies, let the others weigh, and hold on to what's good. And I think, we need to be wholesome in that. Not chopping people, lots of love, lots of encouragement. Most people need encouragement. They certainly don't need slapping down, but a little bit of correction can help them grow through.
I guess not being super spiritual about it, that, that was heavenly, so we can't dare speak into it.
That's right.